Greetings devs, this is Vaibhav Rawat with a showcase demo video on our PL Genesis project, GammaHedge. So what our protocol does is it eliminates the impermanent loss and minimizes the LVR. As we know, the liquidity providers suffer impermanent losses and LVR during the volatilities that arise in the market or while trying to deposit funds into a pool. Let's get into some slides on how it works and then we'll jump right into the demo. The liquidity providers suffer damage mainly by the arbitrages that exploit the volatility in the market due to the delay in the prices off-chain and on-chain. So we spent months diving into a 2022 breakthrough research on loss versus rebalancing. That's where I found it, the concept of delta hedge neutrality. I discovered that if you execute a hedge on Uniswap V4 pool in the exact opposite direction of the liquidity movement, you don't just reduce the risk, you basically absorb it. After hedging it on a pub desk, if the pool goes long, we go short and vice versa. So let's get into the demonstration of our protocol. Here we enter the dashboard and we can see that the wallet connection has been set up on Flow EVM testnet. Also getting into the features, we have a graphical simulation on hedged and unhedged capital in a pool, which we'll get into a bit. It has been initialized with an entry of $10,000. We also have the live pith price fetching along with the order book from the Lighthouse. Lighthouse is the pub desk that we will be executing our hedges into. We can view our hedge vault on Flow Testnet Block Explorer. To view the hedge transactions, these are some of the past transactions that we did during our successful testing of the whole hedging mechanism. We can see the Flow Testnet connection setup. And here are some of the liquidity provider options where they can add liquidity to the pool. We have integrated the LeFi reinforcement entry point in Omnichain, which triggers when the vault is low on collaterals and it draws funds from the chains like Arbitrum and Polygon into our vault. Here's the liquidity adding option that adds liquidity worth 1000 Ether. We have also used the EigenLayer AVS with BLS aggregation that uses operators to constantly monitor the market volatility. Now we will demonstrate the hedging mechanism by running some scripts that trigger swaps to cause volatility. In the meantime, we'll get on to how exactly the loss is absorbed. So when a volatility happens, the mechanism hedges the unused liquidity in the direction opposite of the pool token movement into the pub desk in long option, which causes us profit that offsets the loss occurring during the pool and market volatility. Here we can see that the script runs and all the tokens and initializations execute and swaps take place on Flow EVM. Waiting for the watcher, we can clearly see it has detected the volatility block and fired a hedge intent event for the further hedge execution along with the Filecoin audit that has been secured and visible on our web app on the lower panel. Here we can see the liquidity addition and swap transaction approved for the volatility simulation and then the hedge action performed by the hook in the response to the volatility detection. The check rebalance function that checks for the volatility and swap function by the hedge vault that approves the swap of WETH and USDC. Here is for the WETH and the next one for USDC. Yeah, here is for the USDC. Now's the time to use the Black Swan mode, the spotlight holder. It's a graphical demo on how this protocol will operate in times of massive volatility. We can see that the red line, which represents the unhedged funds, goes down the slope, but the green hedged ones remains almost constant, reducing the LVR loss to the minimum. Now we can turn it off to see the market go back to normal. Yeah, we can see that the red line is back to the level of hedged one and the market is back to normal. Another exciting achievement for this project is that this protocol has also been selected for the pre-audit scan by the Uniswap Foundation Security Funds.